Welcome all to the revitalization of Console Peasant Quotes, the only internet series that shows us we're all just gamers who have no lives and use their time to scream at one another online. For today's episode, we're going to go back to the original series. No games, no gimmicks, just some good old Console Peasant and PC elitist bashing. I hope you enjoy. I love how many people still think that the new consoles will not be stronger than whatever dismal mid-high range hardware is available right now. I guess it's a bunch of people who got gypped and bought 9900Ks, 2080s, and 2080 Ti's trying to justify their purchases until the console's released and fist those components in the value hole with no lube. I can't wait for new consoles to release to see what disruption and advancements on PC side they will bring. Oh yeah, I love when new consoles come out. It's such a blessing to get new DRM brought over to the PC that gimps our games, graphic restrictions because developers think the same realistic graphics is the best we can get, and not to mention those easy to play story-driven games that offer you pretty much the same combat mechanics over and over because you guys use controllers and don't have access to the myriads of controls that we have here on PC. It's great that I can look at a game, see all the potential it could have had if it wasn't restricted, improved by the console experience. Thank God for that. I don't see how 120Hz is more immersive than a more vibrant display.
Oh yeah, this is great. I really feel like I'm part of the game now.
If you have a GTX 1060 or later card, you should be good for a few years. Don't feel pressured. I'm old. A GPU doesn't matter so much to me. I'm still amazed by any game that has better graphics than Pong. Good luck with that 1060 when the new consoles hit the market. Why? Are you trying to tell me that when the new consoles hit the market, the 1060 will just die? That card would last like this guy said. I mean, yeah, it's not going to look like the consoles, but when all these console games look like the same game over and over, what are you really so excited for? This guy can take any of your console games, so long as they're multiplat, customize them so they look any way he likes, and you're stuck with this. Same game, same combat, different title. Yay! No variety, yay! Yeah? And to get 240 FPS on PC, you need to spend $5,000, and just $400 for a console who always runs on 60 FPS. Wait a minute, how is 240 FPS and 60 FPS equal here? You might be right, a $5,000 computer may be required at this time to run that refresh rate. Let's say that's true. How are you then going to mock someone with something you can't even do? That'd be like walking up to a 6'5" jacked man as a 4'9" scrawn dog and saying, well, you can probably bench 350 pounds, but I can do 80 and have nicer clothes, so look at my tiny penis. You didn't make an argument here, you just blatantly told everyone that the PC platform has superior refresh rates. That was kinda silly of you. Y'all AMD users, you budget pieces of shit. AMD's cheaper and worse. You got rid of all your money. 'Cause I didn't, and I use Intel. Yeah, AMD's cheaper and kicking ass. It's really sad to me that people look at a price tag and think, oh, this one's more expensive and that makes it better, right? Well, no, a lot of the times it's more expensive because you're stupid and will buy it. Learn about hardware or don't get involved in the conversation. You sound like an Apple fanboy. Not true. The PS5's SSD is faster than anything currently on the market, even for modern PCs. No fanboyism, you can literally look this up. Sony suggested that people hold off on buying SSDs until one's released with at least a 5.5 gigabyte per second speed. Actually, this is true. Sony developed PCIe 4.0, which can supposedly deliver speeds up to 9 gigabytes per second. Not sure why people think this is a good thing only for consoles though. It's actually kinda nice that consoles brought something to the table this year. The PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were the last generation of consoles to be above the standard in some way. That's how consoles were back in the day. They beat out everything else and brought new standards to the industry. This hasn't happened since the 360 and PS3, so I'm happy to see innovation again. About damn time, don't you think? But it doesn't do much for download speeds, just transfer speeds, which is more useful on PC than it will be for a console. Whoops, should've stuck to physical media, huh? But still, cool tech. Facts though. Android user doesn't know shit about technology. Stinks. Is single, uncool guy / girl, probably doesn't have a lot of friends, shit taste, watches anime and listens to f***ing metal. An iPhone user is well informed about technology, wears only fashionable clothes, drowns in pussy, Coolest guy or girl in town, loves aesthetics, and watches only God tier TV shows and listens to OSTs. Well, you got us. Besides, unless you get a truly top-of-the-line $3,000 plus PC, you won't get 60 FPS at 4K. I have an RTX 2070 Super, Ryzen 3700, and 32GB of RAM on an NVMe M.2 SSD, and Destiny 2 still only runs at 70 to 90 FPS on 2K. Get the new console and you won't have to deal with cheaters either. My $1,200 will do 50 to 60 FPS at 4K. See, this is the thing, and I need to just be real with you here. People who spend $3,000 on a PC tend to also be the kinds of people who don't know anything about computers or how to get them optimized. If you want to be a PC gamer, you need to be smarter than just, oh, I'll plug it into the wall and it's probably good. If you're not willing to do that, then there's nothing wrong with gaming easy. But don't sit there with no experience and pretend your super powerful $3,000 PC is garbage when the mind behind it might be the bottleneck. Once again, so what? At least consoles have a steady frame rate unlike PCs. Some games on PC would fluctuate frame rate so bad that it'd be better to force lock it so you could actually play the game. Yeah, and some do. If I have a 144Hz monitor, I could just set the highest frame rate to that. What do I need the extra frame rate for if I'm just playing a story game to enjoy by myself? This is what I mean, be a smart gamer. If you have no desire to do that, then don't complain. There are myriads of options for you. If you have tech questions, you can go online and take the same amount of time that you took pissing and moaning and put it towards research and stretching that muscle between your ears. I don't understand how you can play with a mouse and keyboard. And clicking on things to shoot? What's the fun in that? Would you like for me to demonstrate to you why playing a video game is fun? The reason people play with a mouse, especially with FPS games, is for this reason. When I use a controller, I can only move as fast and accurately as that stick will let me. Otherwise, I have to rely on a robot helping me to aim because a controller is not a pinpoint accurate peripheral. With a mouse, you as the player have to aim faster than me as a player. No built-in aimbot, no slow stick. My hand-eye versus yours. Reflex versus reflex. That's why we play with a mouse. I've tried 4K. I hated it. I don't want a microscope to look at text. 1440p is plenty enough in terms of day-to-day use. 5K now? Ridiculous. People need to look at this in terms of daily use, and no one ever looks at that. I don't want to be the one to break it to this guy, so someone else do me a favor and let him know that he may need to look into getting a pair of glasses. It seems like he's losing his vision here. I bought this card too, but I have doubt. I have a 600 watt power supply and I did tests on a website, putting my specs. It reaches 487 watts, and the recommended one would be 650 watt power supply. Would it be okay for me to continue with this 600 watt? The general rule of thumb when selecting a power supply is to take your total draw and double it. If your total draw is 487 watts, then that's 974 watts. I wouldn't go less than 1000 watt PSU. What? That's not necessary at all. Don't get double what you need. If PC Part Picker tells you that you're using 450 watts, then grab a 500 or 600 watt. The reason I say this is because of upgradability reasons. You don't need to get 1000 watts for a computer that's only ever going to use 500 at max. When's this update coming to console? Probably never, console peasant. Wow. See, I know I can be a bit crass in these videos, but please believe me, I really am a nice guy. This guy, he's an asshole, and we don't see him as a PC gamer. He's an elitist prick, and we want nothing to do with that mentality. And you want Nvidia to go out of business for good and get all of their employees to go bankrupt and homeless because you think you have a burning hatred for Nvidia's high-end prices for their high-end GPUs? Because it sounds like you are. What? Hahaha, you a troll, right? I'm not trolling, you cheapskate clown, I'm serious. Hahaha, bahaha. You just want everything to be less than $100, even top-tier graphics cards because you're an extreme cheapskate in your entire life? So you have no life, extreme cheapskate clown. So I don't see what's wrong with wanting Nvidia's cards to be cheaper. Ever since AMD started taking names with their Ryzen chips, Intel has had a choice. Make better processors or lower the price to match the competition or you lose the game. See, competition is a good thing, but Nvidia doesn't really have any competition right now. They can pretty much make their GPUs any price they want. They came out with the 20 series cards which weren't crap when you compared them to the 10 series. Sure, you got about 30% boost in performance so long as ray tracing wasn't turned on, and you paid double the price. The 1080 was $700, the 2080 was $1,400. And they even discontinued the 10 series cards because they knew the difference wasn't worth that price. They had to force us into it. What the hell? And that's because they have no competition. They can do whatever they want. Not because they need to feed their hungry workers. That's a fanboy mentality. I'm not going to defend a monopoly. My gaming started on console and handheld console. The PC was not there, but seeing peeps saying I leave Xbox because of Xbox games coming to PC is lame. On PC, you have to get an antivirus and update it every day. Starting a PC up takes forever no matter how powerful it is. Alright, where's my antivirus? Oh, I don't have one. Actually, I don't think I've had one since I built this PC now that I think about it. Any viruses? No, because I'm not an idiot, so we're good there. Alright, so I've gone ahead and restarted my PC. And I guess while I do this, I'll go ahead and go make myself a sandwich since it takes forever for these things to restart. Oh! Would you look at that? It's right back on. Weird. I wonder how that happened. I don't know. I'm a PS4 player, and for $300 for around 140 FPS on almost every game is a W. PlayStation is acting scary and won't release any prices. What am I even supposed to do with this? My then of PC, I'm not smart to know all what I need to do for PC games, lol, cause the settings on PC game is different than on my PS4, and the game requires me to have virus protection and the right specs to play certain games on PC laptops or desktop are too much, and I'm not rich, lol. I got my PC laptop a few years ago. It was $400, and it's not a gamer PC, just a normal PC HP laptop from Walmart I work at and put it on layaway to be able to get it. I'm losing my mind faster now that I rekindled this series. PCs that use SSDs download games in under 10 minutes, so why can't consoles? That's not how SSDs work, mate, not even close. You just don't download 70 gigabytes in seconds because you have an SSD. I've seen my friend with a PC instantly download games for college Wi-Fi, and he doesn't even have a strong computer. It's strong enough for 1080 60 FPS Ultra. God damn, do I really have to explain this? I thought the dumbest that we could get was the human eye can't see bloody blah. Internet speeds dictate how fast you can download a game. If you have fast internet, then your game will download faster. The only thing an SSD is good for is transfer speed. So, for example, if I have a Blu-ray movie on my USB and I plug it into a PC, the read and write speed of my SSD will impact how quickly the movie transfers over, which is why an SSD isn't too important for a console. Cool, Sony developed that tech, but PC gamers are going to be the ones that actually utilize that kind of speed. My PS4 does 4K 144, no joke. Custom water cooling though. It's weird, you always hear these claims. People upgrading their PlayStations, but you never see any video evidence. I mean, in the age of cell phones where everyone has a camera 2 inches away and not a single video from all these claims, it reminds me a bit of those Bigfoot sightings I hear so much about. But Microsoft makes PCs. They do not make PCs, they make Surface Pros and operating systems, and you can get the OS for free. Next. This is a tweet from JTech TV. I've been suspended from Twitter for using the word PC port begging trolls over 85 times in 1 month. Okay, so first of all, it's pretty rare for Twitter to tell you why you were banned, but if I trust you, maybe I should give you some advice, JTech. Man to man here. Stop being a dick. Grow up, it's a video game platform. You spouting hate is only gonna cause more hate. Come to the side of love, my friend. We're smarter, we don't worry about petty bullshit, and we all bond over playing video games together, no matter the platform. Now, do you want to be a gamer, or do you want to be a JTech? Just like the platform, it's you who gets to choose. And until next time, thanks for watching.